Hello everyone, and welcome to Changeling Gaming. In this video, I'll be running over the rankings that we give each game and what they mean. There are three main levels that we use. Levels 1, 2, and 3, each of which has a pair of subcategories: pick up and play to learn. The levels themselves are based off the experience level of the players at the table. A level 1 game is one where none of the players need previous experience playing games to be able to understand how the game works and play it. These games will typically have relatively simple rule sets that don't involve too many elements to keep in mind while playing. A level 2 game is one where at least one of the players at the table needs to have a good amount of previous game playing experience across a variety of games to be able to guide playing the game properly. Ideally, this would be someone who is comfortable teaching those game elements to people who aren't as fluent in the language of games as they are. A level 3 game is one where all the players at the table should have a good amount of previous game playing experience across a variety of game types to be able to effectively play the game. These games typically have a number of different mechanics at play all at once, or a particularly complicated mechanic that is not as intuitive to understand. Now for the subcategories of the levels. A pick up and play game is one where the game can be understood when you initially begin to play it. One where the rounds are fast enough to learn to play very quickly, or one where, as you play, the initial choices you make do not hinder your ability to do well over the course of the game. Pick up and play games can also rely heavily upon random elements, in which case experience does little to determine the results of the game. A play-to-learn game, on the other hand, is one that's more difficult to understand the first time it is played through, usually in terms of how the game mechanics interact with each other and what strategies need to be employed for effective play. These games will also usually put players in a difficult position later in the game based on earlier decisions, meaning early choices will likely have an outsized effect later in the game. We also have a few tags that we apply to games that meet certain other criteria. These are party games, storytelling games, and family games. Our definition of a party game is one whose design facilitates either playing with groups of people who can play for a bit, then step away, or join in at any time without a negative impact on gameplay. These games also tend to have plenty of time for side conversations between players and plenty of opportunities to joke and laugh. A storytelling game is a game that relies upon players coming to the table with an openness and a desire to be creative and tell stories together. These games rely upon an open willingness to improv collectively and enjoy that process as the core of the game playing itself. A family game is one that is particularly applicable to people of all ages, especially younger children's gameplay capabilities and the themes of the game itself. None of these levels, subcategories, or tags are meant to dictate the only situations in which these games can be played, or which game groups are allowed to play what. They are intended merely as guidelines for difficulty and setting player expectations. They don't determine how much fun a game is, so use your own best judgment. If you've got clever kids, then you can probably play games that don't have the family tag. And if your group wants to play a harder game than their experience level, and they're all excited for it, then go for it! Don't let us hamper your fun because of something we said. You know yourselves better than we ever could. So go out and enjoy some games. And remember, keep changing, keep gaming, have fun.